Undergrunt.
It's hard to choose a favorite among so many great tracks.
But the greatest love of all is one of the best.
Most powerful songs ever written about self-preservation.
Dignity.
Its universal message crosses all boundaries and instills one with the hope that it's not too late to better ourselves.
Since
Elizabeth.
It's impossible in this world we live in to empathize with others.
we can always empathize with ourselves.
It's an important message.
Crucial, really.
And it's beautifully stated on the album.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the psychedelic monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth when they turned into babies. They were named from that, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the time. At one time, Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey,
You didn't hit the microphone.
welcome to Bonus Disc. I'm here with Matt, who's totally
I'm a
not
guy.
high.
I'm not. Well, I can't do that.
Do what?
I'd be a host of a show and be high.
Yeah,
It's totally
I know. Thank you for
irresponsible.
being
That's
responsible.
why I'm not the host.
Whatever. And thank you for inviting Kristina Green here with us.
Thank you, Matt.
I didn't do that. Don't do that. Don't feed
you,
into this
Matt.
You
shit.
gotta feed into
so
it,
Who
Matt.
contacted you, Christina?
I, upon
That's
your...
fucking bullshit.
Matt, you ordered us on the podcast last week, or 2 weeks ago. You said, we're watching Karate Dog with Kristina Green.
I said
It's recorded, so...
Okay. I said it.
Thanks, Skyfather, we followed through. Okay, anyway.
Fine. God damn it.
Anyway, so,
Still not the host.
because we watched a clip of this movie with Kathy Carson, our last guest, we watched Karate Dog. Starring, oh, wow, that sound. Listen to that silence. Starring the voice of Chevy Chase as the Karate Dog, Pat Morita, John Voight, and the fat guy from Varsity Blues.
And the guy from the Scary Movie movies, the tall
Simon
idiot.
Rex. Simon Rex, yeah. And it's directed by Bob Clark of A Christmas Story fame and Baby Geniuses 1 and 2. Super Baby Geniuses.
Did you
What a
see those?
career.
You said
Yes.
you liked Baby Geniuses.
I mean, I
right?
don't like them. I just
no. But you said it was
they're
fun.
a sight to behold.
Okay.
Like this, maybe even more so than this, they're a sight to behold. Because this at least, in some way, a dog that knows karate is less stupefying. What? I didn't ruin
sorry.
anything.
Sorry,
it's
Spoiler
fucking
alert,
Karate Dog.
Spoiler
Sorry.
alert.
I really don't
I thought
feel.
you were about to say though. They're right.
No.
Okay.
I feel I didn't. Yeah, because saying
Sorry.
the dog knows karate.
Yeah. It's called Karate Dog. I get it.
The karate
The
dog.
Karate Dog.
It
makes a difference.
does.
We'll get to the universe this movie created. It doesn't make any sense.
It's
No.
very confusing.
I hate
So
it.
okay, so this came out in 2010.
Which
That's enough
is
setup. That's
unthinkable.
that's-
as you watch it. You would
There's-
assume it came out in 1999,
yes,
right?
No, I would assume 2001. That's what I assume, and that's not like a 9/11
yeah.
reference.
This was
2001.
definitely post 9/11
This
movie.
was before the
A
world
Karate
changed.
Dog Odyssey.
They were like, we need to go back to moral values and wholesome
That's
entertainment.
what I was about to say. I was like,
Well, remember in the 90s how everything was about like
Yeah.
the East coming here and like Asia,
Yeah,
and like pizza, Ninja Turtles, all that. I feel like this should have been made 15 years before it exists.
Yeah.
Easily.
well, if some of the references would.
Not
would make
sense.
you think that,
But, well,
yeah.
a bunch of the references
could
are
have been
from
written.
1997. or
Right, they're only
96.
relevant then
Yeah,
anyway.
it's fucking crazy.
All right.
The script was written then, and then it was not edited.
They just
before
couldn't
they
make a
filmed
dog
it.
do
Yeah.
karate until 2010.
They're like, we're gonna save it.
no, it looks good
It needs
now.
to be done right, okay?
Jesus Christ.
Well, they knew the story was shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
they
this
knew
dog
the
better
effects.
look like it's kicking the fuck out of people.
I wanted to beat up an Academy Award winner. So So the
White has
movie,
a horrible Southern accent.
the movie opens with the movie Gremlins.
Yes.
Jesus, I mean,
it might
I
as well
wish that
have
was. I hope that is the actual story of Gremlins, because it's Pat Morita breaking into a place to steal this canister.
Pat
but
Morita
like,
dressed as the old man from Gremlins.
yeah, he's in a black hat with
He
a black
just looks-
jacket.
Yeah, it's Gremlins, and he owns the store from Gremlins. It's like,
Dude, all right, so hold on. So it starts. He opens a door to a lab. There's a bunch of smoke, right?
Yeah.
He goes into this room. He types some shit on a computer. A door opens, and he pulls out a canister of green shit.
it's from Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah, it looks like Ninja Turtle stuff. He sticks it so awkwardly into his coat and like walks out of the building.
Very.
What? We know what building that we
Right?
we see what building that was later.
Uh,
You couldn't like if he was in that room,
was-
regardless of what he looked like.
what was the name of
whether
it?
the can was held above his head or in that jacket, him walking out of that building with it is unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like he was like it was like
But we
it
don't
made
know
no
yet.
sense.
We don't know
Is
it
he-
yet. We don't know
Is
what that
he
building
tiptoeing
is.
around everywhere. Then I'm fucking. Oh, we'll get to it.
We
man.
don't know yet.
I didn't think about that till now, and I'm
He just walks the fuck out of there.
turning red in my seat. Like I didn't realize that
Yeah.
until just when you
Yeah,
mentioned it.
that's the place. The whole rest
We,
of the movie.
no, wait. I don't want to give it up now, but we do find out information about how he worked there, sort of.
Yes. Okay. Not in that. All right.
It's
But
not
he
enough.
did sort of.
It's
He
not
was
enough.
just the old man who
defending-
fed the dog.
I have a counter argument to that. We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to
Okay.
it.
So
right.
he gets the
He
goo,
steals the
he
secret of the
leaves.
ooze.
He goes back to his place, which is the shop that fucking Mogwais come from.
Dude, there's a Mogwai in that shop.
Somewhere. It's nuts. He's got a dude.
As-
The best part is you were like, you can't just leave a fire like that unattended.
That was-
He's
Yeah,
got
that was
like
Eddie. But it's a giant
huge-
furnace.
Yeah,
It's the
it's
furnace
huge.
from Return of the Living Dead.
like in the
It's-
wall of his house. Apparently, it was insane.
Honestly, the set was so confusing looking. I couldn't. It looks like a garage crossed with an apartment,
Also,
crossed
did
with
he-
a store.
Did he not?
It's like a kiln. What was it? A pottery factory that he
I was
lived
gonna say,
above
did
or
he
something?
not hide it in a clay pot of some
He
kind?
put
He
it. In
did.
no, he put the ooze canister. I'm just
In
calling
a-
it ooze because that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally
well,
was,
it was
yeah.
more liquidy than
This
an
thing is so
ooze.
90s too. It's like it should.
glowing
This
green.
had to have been from like
They
1996.
found it on a set, like on
There
another
was a
set,
script
a
that
lot.
flop-
They found the
flopped around
prop.
like on the set
forever.
of Surf Ninjas, somebody was writing Karate Dog, and it just like 15 years later was like, hey, we could just make this.
You can make
Why
this in like
not?
2 minutes. You can make a karate dog.
We have computers
on my
now.
iPhone right now. Look at this dog. It's doing karate. Come on. Let's make this movie.
The karate app. Anyway, so he puts the ooze vase in a giant vase,
Yeah, puts the lid on it, and he goes upstairs and starts
talking to. He's
What,
there.
is he reading a newspaper or something? What is he reading?
He's like doing a leisurely activity. I can't
whatever.
remember. And then
It's
his
irrelevant.
He's sitting in the
dog,
dog. His dog.
Cho comes out.
Yeah,
To-
walks up to him.
Uh,
He starts talking to the dog. So we're like, all right, it's karate dog. The dog's gonna know karate.
This is the karate dog. We know from because we've seen the
we
seen the
saw the
like.
clip. Now he
It's
just
a
starts
weird
talking
looking
to it.
normal dog to begin with.
I'm so mad they picked that dog.
It's-
It was
The
worst
movie
dog.
just introduces
You know why I
it
think they did is because of his fur and
because it
the-
looks like a human,
and it also-
their legs are super long.
No, I think the dog looks so weird to begin with that
When
the
you make the
CGI
puppet
version
That makes
looks
sense,
weird
yeah.
too. So it's
But
like
he wasn't the only CGI
dude, that
dog.
kitchen. When
there
he
was a
in
lot
the-
of CGI
When he was
dogs.
in the bathroom, that was definitely a guy in a
Dude, that
suit.
was scary.
All right, all right.
If I woke up to that, I'm so scared.
So he starts talking to the dog. The dog just starts talking back to him immediately.
Yeah, there's
Like
no.
right out of the gate.
Yeah, but
and we were all like, "Oh, so the dog just speaks?"
but like it's also weird.
He
because-
just stole magic goo, but he already had a
Okay,
talking
but
dog.
it's weird because at that point we're still questioning it. We were like, oh, is this the dog's thoughts? Because the dog's like making like like little dog noises, and the responses that he's giving the dog kind of makes sense to like the dog noises. So we're at this point still not sure.
Like it's the two of
Also-
them have like a connection
right,
type
and also
thing.
we don't
Oh,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
dog's mouth move. At
Right.
that
I
point.
did
That
not
is
see
important.
that
In the
happen at
first
first.
scene, his mouth CGI mouth thing wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So I assume like Pat Morita and him had like a mental
It wasn't
connection.
even that, because like I talk to my dog stupidly.
Sure,
just
sure.
for noise. And
Right.
And like if one of them,
You thought it was like a look who's talking situation where we were hearing
It's
the dog.
cheaper.
yeah.
There was a Look
Okay.
Who's Talking dog movie. Let's not
no,
forget.
I
Yeah.
thought that the dog was.
Is it called Look Who's
It was like
Barking Now?
thoughts
Look Who's
or
Talking Now.
something,
Get the
and
fuck
that
outta here.
the dog would make like a noise or a head gesture or something, and that the guy would be reacting to that, not the dog thoughts. That's how I was seeing it before I knew what the
You
reality.
know what?
of it
I gotta
was.
say, like, we spent a lot of time while watching the movie trying to decipher the reality of the talking.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the only reason I think is because it doesn't make sense.
It's not consistent.
It's not consistent,
At
and we're
all.
adults. We're adults.
Yeah.
We can't watch it anymore and be like, well, nothing matters, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, everybody talks. It's fine.
it doesn't
Like,
matter. It's
I
just,
was waiting. Eventually, I thought a chair was gonna say something. I thought maybe a stool might have piped
like
up.
everything in the movie can just
Yeah.
talk.
I mean,
You can teach anything
Yeah,
to
just
talk.
speak. Yeah, God. So,
So he's talking to the dog openly.
Yeah.
Chocho and Pat Morita are talking.
yeah, just having a conversation about some shit, and then somebody breaks open his front door with a crowbar.
Right.
He hears it.
It's a guy with this mask.
Yeah, it's four
Oh
guys
my
in black
God.
ski masks,
Forgot about the
meat
mask.
masks, and then one guy with a black ski mask, but then this weird.
It's like
Vinyl.
a theater.
This now that
No.
I'm thinking about it, what was this?
I don't know.
I don't know what that
there
was.
It's like a theater mask
no, it
that's
looked
white,
like what was that
Yeah.
movie called? The
Like what Buckethead wears.
like what
Damn it.
Buckethead wears, but
it's
just
a
the
home
front.
invasion movie, and they just had the round plastic like white faces.
Yeah, I mean
The
that's
strangers,
Yeah, the strangers
or
It's
something
sorta
like that. But
yeah.
his mouth was
No,
detached, and he
strangers had
pushed a
shit.
button on his like chin
before he
Yeah.
that
talked.
sounded like went, "Beep," and then he would start talking.
And his mouth would move. The mask's mouth.
that
would
never
move.
came to fruition of what that was.
Yeah, but
No.
I assume that was
spoiler alert!
It
It
says
was
John
John Voight's
Voight.
voice. You could
Yeah,
tell.
yeah.
It was like insane, but he
Yeah.
still pressed that button. That's why I said that. I was like, "Why the fuck is he doing that?" I can tell that's John Voight talking.
Yeah.
Like,
But kids can't,
Oh, it
Matt.
didn't have
Yeah,
an
kids-
accent.
Kids
did
don't
it?
know who John Voight is to be.
Yeah,
why
kids
why
don't.
even have
Did it-
him in the movie?
yeah.
It's not like a kid's like, oh man, he was in Deliverance. I
Yeah,
can't
but-
wait to see this.
Here,
Like-
what's an old man we can parade in front of a child?
Some actors
He's
though.
terrifying looking in this movie.
Some actors though will just sign up to do kids movies
Money.
because they have kids
and the
or,
money.
You know,
and his
well,
grand.
yes, also
He
money.
probably thought his grandkids could watch this. I bet you, or something like that.
Yeah.
Why he did it, we don't need to know.
But I have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
When the button and the voice thing was happening, did he have an accent? Because I don't remember.
No,
So
No,
maybe,
it sounded like half electronic too.
it sounded slightly weird, but it still sounded.
It was like a
his
warble.
voice.
Okay,
the
I didn't
warble
notice
on his
that,
voice.
but
Yeah.
It does. It didn't
Anyway.
matter in the end. It doesn't
Yeah.
ever come back. That
So-
that mask doesn't even come back.
No. Anyway, okay. God, what a shitty movie. All right,
So they
it's
try
like
to.
it's for kids or something. It's like
you
crazy.
said you loved it while we were watching it.
I mean, I kinda
wanna hear
love it,
that.
too.
No, I kind of
Ugh.
Bob hit the nail on the head like 20 minutes in when he said this should be more silly, because it was silly, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like so
silly that it was.
Yeah.
It should be like just got. Yeah, it should
It
be written
should've-
by a 3-year-old. Honestly,
it should have been a little bit sillier. It was
Yeah.
as silly
It
as
should be
and
more
disjointed as
fun.
it was.
It should be more
wasn't
fun. Yeah.
It was
more
strangely
actors.
serious.
I wish all the actors
needed more cameos. With
all the
funny
actors
people.
should be chewing the scenery as much as John Voight.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem, I think. Like Simon
You know
Rex
what the
is
other
not
problem
doing.
was?
He's
Chevy
like
just
Chase
staring at
didn't
stuff.
shut up.
what? Oh, Chevy Chase. Yeah,
He
and no,
was
and
shut
talk
up.
constantly.
they edited him talking into scenes where you couldn't see the mouth, and it was just like constant dog talking.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
But anyway,
God.
we're reviewing the movie. Okay, so in that scene, they're trying to get the ooze back.
Yeah, he leaves the dog upstairs. He closes the door. He's like,
So
just
it's like
stay
I
up
will take
here.
care of this. Pat
Yeah.
Morita goes down there and does some Karate Kid shit.
Right.
Yeah, he starts beating
But
the
it's,
shit out
it's
of
a
people.
stunt double. It's painfully.
definitely
It's
a
a stunt
stunt
double.
double.
Pat Morita
Ugh.
is really old at this point.
when she flips that fat
fact-
guy at the end.
This
that
might
stunt
be
double
Pat
was
Morita's last
atrocious.
movie. Don't quote me on that.
No,
but
it's Cobra.
is it Cobra?
There's a movie he's in called King Cobra.
Oh, I was gonna
It's
say
about
that
a
was
giant.
Stallone
No,
movie. Yeah,
King
yeah.
Cobra. It's about a giant snake. It's fucking awesome. He fist fights a fucking huge snake at the end of the movie. It's
Okay.
great. Yeah, no, King Cobra's awesome. It's
kinda
like a
sucks-
sci-fi original.
Kind of sucks that his
kinda
career
like
went
late
that
80s
there
thing.
at the end. Whatever.
I mean,
That's
how
fine.
many? I
That's
don't know.
fine. Okay, so Pat Morita kicks some ass, but eventually the evil masked dudes start overtaking him,
Mhm.
and they injure him like almost they mortally injure him.
Do they?
No,
they
wait,
don't
this
shoot
might be
him,
his
do
last
they?
movie. You're right. I'm sorry.
It
King
doesn't
Cobra's
matter.
earlier, sorry.
They mortally injure him, But the dog
they
gets
throw
free.
him over the table and like,
Right.
Yeah.
But the dog gets free and comes downstairs, and then we see the.
He bursts through a fucking air vent and just starts karate kicking the shit out of everybody.
And then we're all of us start screaming at once because right out the gate, this dog knows karate.
And
because all of us up to this moment have thought, okay, that ooze is going to make a dog talk and know karate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is not at all what fucking happens.
Like, if that dog didn't talk in that first scene, Pat Morita could have been, like, almost dead, poured the goo on himself, and the dog licked it, and then he's the karate dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, something...
Like,
some sort of explanation as to why this dog can speak English and
I love it,
because
the explanation is just, a guy taught me these things.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we have
just
the
took the
super
time.
powerful thing, and his essence drained into me or some shit. It was just, he taught me how. Okay.
This is a sequel to Dogs and Cats or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Where they all have like separate lives.
Well, we'll get to that shit. We're not even there.
They were not even there yet.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Garbage.
saying.
But so this is the karate dog opening scene where he's kicking ass as karate
Yeah,
dog. He
he's kicking the
karates.
shit out of the karate people.
It's a
He,
CGI dog, have no doubt.
The guy with the
Yeah.
mask is like, fuck it, I'm just going to make sure I got the goo and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Karate dog bites him.
Yeah.
Not very karate-like,
No, not
And his
at
hand's
all.
bleeding.
but he cuts his arm open. And he escapes. And Pat Morita dies. And then
Well, the dog's holding him while he dies.
the dog
dog is holding-
calls
The
911.
dog calls 911.
Somehow. They do not show him operate the phone. They don't show the phone at all.
I feel like
There's
it's feasible because he could have got the phone.
In
and then
2010, there's probably not a landline where
well,
they
that
were.
Pat Morita guy's pretty old, so
He is pretty old.
he'd have a landline.
You're probably right. Fine.
Let's let that
He's
be.
got a fax machine at least. He's running a business.
He's
Can we-
doing
Yes,
something.
okay.
Okay.
It's a very successful clay
but yeah,
business.
so he calls
But he
911.
feeds dogs? Is that for fun? Anyway.
Yeah,
We don't
it's
know
a hobby.
that
He's
yet.
a dog lover.
All right.
So
Ugh.
Yeah.
it's fine. So the dog calls 911, which is when we first realized this dog actually can talk.
to other people
To
That
other
is
people.
our Pat
because he could
Morita.
talk through a phone.
And yeah, because there's a woman on the other line that we're seeing instead of this dog.
Right.
You know, and you know,
She
And then
wants
he-
to know his name.
And he
won't
doesn't
say it.
He won't
answer,
say
and
his
then we
name.
thought that they just didn't say anybody.
Said
But that's not,
anybody
that didn't
'cause they
happen.
didn't show- it didn't
It was a
happen.
crime scene the next scene.
Yeah.
so
But it just shows Pat Morita, like, and the dog. The Pat Morita was talking, and the dog just laying on his chest as he died.
Him dying was great. It was like
So Pat Morita, I don't. Oh yeah, the death was really
Yeah.
bad. So I don't know if it was in that scene or it was when they were above in the loft, but he tells this dog like you can only speak the truest words.
You should
which
only.
You should only speak.
to people who are
'Cause he's
seeking
telling him
truth
he's
and the
talking
truest
too much,
words.
and he's like, you only speak the truth.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great because that way the rest of the movie you can watch the dog completely disobey that
Yeah.
order.
And- yeah,
but
be a
also
piece of
fuck
shit.
over Simon Rex's character
Yeah, with talking.
with talking. It's garbage. God.
It's like there's no respect for this character
I
you
just
spent the
felt-
whole beginning of the movie
Yeah.
setting
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I needed to get that one in there because I felt it was so important
Well,
how
I-
disrespectful the rest
I
of the movie
assumed
was.
that they put that in there so that they could spend less animation on him speaking. So whenever the dog wasn't speaking, you don't have to do anything. There's no effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The dog
That's
was
why I
constantly
assumed that
speaking.
they shoved that line in and then they totally don't use it. He speaks forever.
Oh my god.
He's so much talking.
It's a lot.
It really
Just
is.
like the sound of his own voice.
So Simon Rex shows up at the crime scene of the old man's gremlin's place.
Mm-hmm.
And he has with him
A
his
briefcase.
Well, hold on. So he's walking in, and everybody's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm a detective, just like everybody else."
I just use science instead of guns or something.
And
Yeah.
he walks in. He's got this huge briefcase. He gets more shit from these two other detectives, and then he throws it down. He opens it up, and then his computer wakes up. It
Yes.
goes, "Oh, hello."
And it's like the voice of
I'm
a.
awake now.
Is it a child or a woman?
It was a woman.
The child
I think it's
woman.
debatable if it was like either a young woman or an older boy.
I don't know about that.
And its name
The
was
eunuch.
His name
Yeah.
was Collar,
His name was
Collar.
Collar.
which
Yeah.
stood for something I
It
forget.
was like no, it was beautiful because it was computerized online.
Online.
Fuck.
Automated research something.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
something
because
like
it
that.
was.
He split up online into two different things.
And it was only COLAR, not
Yeah,
COLLAR.
Computer online or computerized online
automatic researcher or
No,
something. It
because
doesn't
that
matter.
it would have been an L next.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. But the point was, if you
No,
break those,
online was 2 words. That's why I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, the on and the line.
It was
were the
OL was online. That's why it was insane.
Yeah, that's why it didn't make sense. Yeah.
I was like, did they really just split online into 2 things in 2010? Like in 1998? I'm sure.
Yeah, because online was a new word. Yeah,
That's
it's a new
fine.
thing.
That's
but
why it's just another thing where the script was written a long time ago.
it really was obvious. And so this thing is like fully sentient. It's like Jarvis.
Yeah.
This guy has a Jarvis in a briefcase.
yeah, it's
He developed it. He built it himself.
Yeah.
and everyone's like making
Fun of him. It's insane.
Why don't you do some real voice
Yeah,
work or whatever?
I
He's
don't
like, this thing just literally needs to sit here in the room and it can tell me everything about the crime.
No, he said analyze the crime scene for any possible outcomes of what happened.
Yeah. But he doesn't like feed it information
No,
or
there
set up
wasn't like a
little...
beam that shot out to
No,
like analyze
I don't
anything.
know that he's not feeding it information because he's typing on the damn thing, even though he can talk to it.
Yeah, it
It's
has a
his
keyboard
mouth.
and it's
Dude.
fully, it's fully audio automated.
So he's
He
typing
built
garbage
it
into
and
it
everyone
and
just
talking
mocks
to
him
it.
for it. It's like a marvel.
Matt, he's a nerd.
That guy's like,
Nerd.
he brought his date to the crime scene.
Everything was his date.
Yeah, everything he did, he was trying to fuck. Apparently,
Literally,
Like,
there
oh,
are bestiality jokes in this movie about him.
Yes, this children's movie.
Yeah, like look at him dating that dog. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, they're
on.
gonna kiss.
he hasn't even met the dog
No,
yet.
we're not.
Because
there
the
yet.
dog shows up now.
The dog's
like-
hiding under a table.
yeah, because his best friend just died.
And
Pat
then
Morita.
they're doing the crime scene shit. That's when Jamie Presley shows up.
With her partner.
Oh, that guy.
I didn't even notice he was there at that point.
Yeah, her partner is just
My
a
favorite
guy
character
who's
He's
in
a
the movie.
cardboard cutout.
I
He-
feel
she
like
carries
he's.
the prop she carries.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like you said, like under some sort of spell or something. Like
that was
he-
that
Jamie
was Eddie.
Presley's a witch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jamie Presley's like a witch,
Yeah.
and she's like
Yeah,
bewitching
that
him.
guy just does
He was
things
her
when they should
familiar.
happen.
Yeah,
but
right.
No one ever tells
she's,
him. And
yeah, she's a vampire. That was her, like, yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
Her Renfield.
He was just
Yes.
They
Yeah,
never even
yeah.
said his name. He had one line though.
Did he?
He said we got a call.
I
And
didn't.
she goes,
know.
"Oh,
Great
yeah,
line. Wonderful line.
Yeah, it's
He
also
couldn't even.
sounded like
He
it was
wasn't
80
allowed
yards.
to look at the camera
No.
when he said
No,
it.
he was sitting in the car. You couldn't see him. It was
Yeah.
through the window. Anyway, all right. Where are we? Oh, she's there.
They
They
meet-
flirt, sort of. It's awkward and terrible.
Oh,
It's very
Something
bad.
happens here where the dog catchers show up after they flirt.
Yes,
The evil dog catchers, which was a plot
cliche.
line that just
never.
why did it even need it? It didn't
I thought they were gonna be awesome.
all dog
Like
catchers
if the dog catchers were
evil.
played by like
Now-
David Koechner, Luis Guzman,
I
and
will-
so, like one other person, and they were awesome.
I'm gonna
This movie would be
recommend a
great.
movie right now that I watched about 15 years ago with our friend Eric called Soccer Dog the Movie, which had an evil dog catcher in it that was amazing, played by Billy Drago
Wait.
from Untouchables.
Oh man. Okay.
So if you want a good dog catcher movie, Soccer Dog the Movie is a great
I
one.
I probably will never bother.
No one will.
Christine, I know you didn't get your fix for talking dogs.
Actually, Soccer Dog doesn't talk. He's
Oh.
just a dog that plays soccer. He's the answer to Air Bud,
Oh, okay.
the soccer answer. But then there was an Air Bud
Well,
soccer
there's not
movie.
16 soccer
I mean,
dog
you gotta
movies,
wait
so
for like
fuck him.
you know the name brand,
Right.
So.
Yeah, he didn't have. There's no Air Buddy soccer dogs
No.
buddies or whatever. I don't know.
That's why I said we should have just watched Spooky Buddies today.
Nah, this
No, this is
podcast
what we
will
need.
revisit the Buddy franchise in full at some
We
point.
needed to watch The Karate Dog.
Yeah, one Christina.
Well, which I'd like to point out, he did one karate scene.
The Royal.
There won't be
Karate
any
Dog.
more until
There's
the end.
two. Well, yeah, there's
Yeah,
the
and
end.
the end. There's no karate for most of this movie.
That's true.
It's just a talking
It should
dog
be
movie.
dog that knows karate, because his dogness is way more prevalent in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff.
You
the
said-
I
karate
can't-
aspect,
I don't ruin
yeah, that's
anything.
what I'm saying.
You said it later. One of you said it later that like you could have taken the karate aspect out of the entire movie, and it.
It'd been fine.
It could have been Pat Morita just having a talking dog and the dog knowing what happened.
Yeah, and
It
did a
didn't
normal crime movie.
The end fight could have been. I don't want to ruin anything.
All right.
Yeah. So the evil
Whoa.
dog catchers.
They
who are
show
like,
up, the
They're
dog-
like crack meth heads or
It's
something.
definitely.
weird.
It's like, oh, it's a dog.
I must get it.
I know it wasn't.
guy
I've been
goes, "We
waiting
gotta-
for this one for
He
a
needs a
while.
little
TCG.
TLG.
No,
He said it needs a little
TCG.
TLG, and he goes,
Ta-
I think you mean TLC, like tender love and care. And he goes, no, I meant tag.
something and gas him.
He was
Tag him.
literally.
He was the
Tag him, lock him,
BTK of
gas
dog
him.
catchers.
Right.
Yeah, that's
right.
what it was. Tag him, gas him, lock him.
He was literally in a kids movie saying, "I can't wait to murder these dogs."
Tag him, lock him, gas him.
They've been murdering. His job has
That's
been
all he wanted.
murdering dogs constantly.
Dude,
His, his motto for his job is murder.
Yeah.
This guy's murdered so many fucking dogs. It's ridiculous.
So the dog escapes. It jumps into... What is his character's name? Fowler. The investigator.
Yes. Which I
Fowler's
love that
car.
it's like kind of not. I thought it'd be a dog name like Barker or something, but no, it's
Everything
Could've
else
been
is named after
Howler.
dogs.
Howler would be.
Howler.
Why, let's go all the way.
That might have been too much.
Too much in the Karate Dog.
In the Karate Dog. Yeah, they gotta still rein it in a little
It
bit.
needs to be grounded. It's like,
Well, he hides in the back of his car, and then he leaves. He's there for like 4 minutes.
oh, well, dude, he
And then
has
somebody insults
he
him
has
one more
collar,
time,
man.
and he goes,
His
"You know what, I'm
computer
outta here."
analyzed the entire scene,
It was asleep.
but it did already do the analyze. It did
It was doing something. I
It's
guess.
all
It was
done.
on. He just like packs it up and rolls out.
I
And he
love the
goes-
idea of a machine you have to put in the place to just okay.
All right,
Read
I've
the room.
absorbed all the
Diagnose.
information out of the air
By
as possible.
osmosis.
Yeah, here it is.
The computer has analyzed the space. It's like, what? But he leaves with that. This is what I like. It's daytime.
Yeah.
So he got murdered at night.
No, it was night.
No,
he
it
got
was-
murdered at night. By the time he was there with that machine, it was daytime.
No, it wasn't. I don't think.
No, it
Like,
was
when he
night.
drove away, it was night.
Was
I-
it? I
it
don't
was
think
night,
it
Matt.
was when he. No,
You're
when-
thinking.
Yeah.
You're thinking of.
Because when it showed the
I remember.
when it showed the sirens and stuff there,
It was nighttime
It was nighttime. It
All
was
right,
definitely.
fine. He goes home and goes to bed.
with the dog in the back seat, and the dog breaks into his house.
I guess, yeah, when at some point
I don't
broke
remember.
into his house.
Yeah, he didn't go to bed
It-
yet.
So Chevy Chase
The
wakes
dog's
him up
in
by
the
going,
house.
what does he say the first
Chevy
thing he says?
Chase wakes him
Chevy
up.
Chase says something.
I'm surprised he didn't have a cameo in the movie. He had to be so after the fact. They've shot all
Dude.
this stuff, and then we're like, "What
Wow.
celebrity can we get?"
Maybe.
You know what I
Chevy
mean?
Chase
Like it
for a
was
while there was like struggling to find work though.
sure, but I don't.
But
I
this is 2010. He's on Community at this point.
Yeah, I guess.
He did this in the bathroom of a hotel.
Dude, this was like a 4-hour luncheon for him. He got free
spent no
food.
time on it. Dude, he's talking about in this scene. So he wakes him up and explains what happens, and the guy just keeps going, "Talking dog,"
Yeah.
over and over again.
For a world in which dogs talking seems to be incredibly prevalent, I
Yes,
feel right.
yes.
Like there's
we gotta get to that,
We'll
though.
get
We
to it, but there is just it's not a spoiler. This world has talking dogs in it
Well, it's confusing though. It's
because he tells
unbelievably
Simon
confusing.
Fowler in this scene that his master Pat Morita taught him to speak,
Yes.
as though it were, like you said, a Rosetta Stone for dogs.
Yeah.
Like you just need to learn like I want to learn Spanish. This dog wants to learn human.
Yeah.
It's sign. It's all you got to do is teach them.
Because he was like, yeah, it's like dogs.
Which is insane
He
because I would
says
think
this-
so many
this
people
is
would have
when-
tried by now.
This is when it gets confusing. He says, dogs speak dog, cats speak cat,
Mhm.
horse speak horses, and then he makes some sort of stupid ass armadillo joke. And then, when all the animals start talking to each other, they all speak English, and
To
the
him.
dogs and the cats talk to each other. There's no language barrier. So what the fuck did he mean by that? You know what I mean?
I like
There's
that.
cats and dogs talking. Did they all
Living
learn
together.
language? Did they go to school?
Massive
How many
area.
fucking languages do these dogs speak? Every dog?
Dude,
It's insane.
it's
Sorry. That line, I was
There's
like,
a- there's
what's
a-
happening?
no. There's like a party. The party makes it. The party just.
Yeah,
the
it's-
scene that happens later crumbles the scene to shit because it's just like. So these all the stray dogs that just all talk. They're literally talking and singing. It's like
What's happening? It doesn't make any sense, dude. I don't know. That the animals being able to speak English to each other.
I like
it
that.
drives
but,
me
like
nuts.
I feel like I need the one thing from any of these movies is to know the rules, and like this movie didn't have any.
It had none, man.
Just let me
Chaos.
know.
You need to have rules. It doesn't work. A talking dog doesn't work without rules. You know what I
Right.
mean? You need like the shaggy dog or like
Hence
something.
why
Yeah.
like Air Buddies annoys me so much because they talk, and Air Bud was never a talking dog.
No.
So
That's
why do
right.
his kids speak and they say shit that doesn't even make any sense? Like Air Bud played sports,
Yeah.
which is something maybe a dog could do.
That's what evolution is, Bob. That
Within,
dog
like, 10
learned how to play
years.
sports, and then it passed its seed on, and those dogs now know how to speak. It just jumps a generation.
They should do another one where their kids are like good scientists
they're
and
fucking
shit.
like giant robots. They're just human robots with dogs in them. Dude, that's where they need to go. That'd be great.
Fucking mind in the other room.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
God damn.
Anyway, let's not talk about Air Buddies. Sorry.
Gundam buddies. No, that'd be so
They
good.
built- it's so smart. It's so smart and intelligent. It's great.
Anyway, he explains
He
everything.
it was so in that
he's like,
scene.
He's like, no, he got killed by assassins, trained assassins, killed my master because he had something. I don't know what it was. He didn't know. He was like, it was a thing. It was a goo.
The goo.
Oh god.
So then,
Which is never like. There's no point does anyone take the goo out and like pour it in anything.
Yeah,
yes,
they
he
do.
does.
Yeah,
Does he?
Yes.
Do
When he's
I
when
missed-
John
Three
Boyd's
drops.
Okay,
drops,
three
Bob.
drops. Okay, I missed it.
when John
I don't know how I
Boyd's doing
missed
his
it.
Nick Cage impersonation,
Right.
at the end of the movie, he starts pouring it and stuff.
So he accepts it. He accepts the
Accepts
dog.
it and goes to
He
bed.
eventually, well, no, he goes, look, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to think about investigating
sleep
this
on it.
with you. He's like, I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
sleep on it. And then he wakes up and he's on the couch and he's like, oh, it's a dream. And then this was nightmare-fueled kind of thing in the movie.
There's
Oh.
a skunk ape that comes out of the fucking bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, it's the dog. He's like, oh, it's all a dream, it's fine. But then he hears a toilet flush. And then his bathroom door opens and there's a dog in a bathrobe with like a
Shower cap.
shower cap, brushing
his teeth.
God damn
being
it.
like, hey, so what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And it's a man
There's
in a
something
suit.
about this
It's
dog
not
that's creepy.
CG like
It's
the
the-
rest of it is.
It's the
No,
Bigfoot
it's
suit.
it's
It's
a shot of
definitely
the
a-
dog being propped up.
It's by someone just on the other
Does
side of
that
that
bother
door.
you at all? Because, like I said, there's that one scene where the dog before this is getting taken away for a
when
moment.
the animal control guys
But
get
the
him,
animal-
it
and I'm like,
sucks.
you know, that dog doesn't know that they're acting. Right now, the dog thinks it's being like led to its death.
That's probably true.
You know, it's being like, oh, like it doesn't know. At this point, you have this scene where this dog is propped up against the door, probably like by a belt or something we
They've
can't
probably
see.
practiced that scene with that dog a few times to the point
Hopefully.
where it's used to it. But
I love
the
the girl.
first time, yeah, that dog probably
It's
is
duct
like.
taped to that door.
Just staple gun him to the door.
Yeah, it's fine. He'll heal.
I
And he
love
just
your
looks
response
scary.
was they were like, "Why is it?" Or no, I think it was you. Wasn't it? Somebody said, "Why is he wearing a bathrobe? Dogs are naked all the time."
That's, yeah, I think it was Eddie.
Eddie should just come in here and
Yeah,
sit in my
yeah,
place.
yeah.
He had all the comments.
But it's true. It's right because the
Yeah.
dog is naked all the time. So
why was he wearing clothes at all?
because it
Like
looks,
he speaks, it just they didn't. The line was so wavy.
Why would he
did
take
too
a
many
shower?
Weird things.
dogs hate showering.
Right?
Just because he can speak doesn't mean he wouldn't
He
like
likes
dog
showering.
shit.
He still likes shaking hands. He thought that was cool. Yeah, why
Whatever.
would he be all cool with water?
Brushing his teeth?
Yeah, I can't even stick a toothbrush in my
Christ.
dog's mouth.
Right.
They, like,
I feel like just because you're getting smarter doesn't mean you like new things.
So he takes.
And he's not that he's getting smarter. He's
Been smart, yeah.
smarter.
Do we see John Voight again yet, or does he go to the
No.
police station?
We don't see him. He's
Dude,
we
I
definitely don't see him
until later.
Okay.
No, because at
So
this
they
part,
go to the police station.
this part, he's like, you stay here, I'm gonna go to work. And he's like, oh, well, if you leave me here, I'm gonna piss on everything. Fuck you. That's when Simon Fowler's like, fine,
Is this-
come.
Oh, that's
Is
also when
this
they
when they
left the
leave the
door
door
Yeah, he
unlocked.
open?
opens the
Wide
door,
open.
walks away, and the dog walks through, and they just go away. It's
Yeah,
like
he's like,
his house is completely
the dog,
open.
You know, that's fucking ignorant because that dog could have closed that door.
I know.
he has the means.
He knows how
The
to
dog's
close a
been-
door. He can
Yeah.
do it.
An asshole the entire film. It doesn't stop here. This is
The dog,
tip of the iceberg.
the dog
This
is.
dog.
It's just the beginning of his bullshit. He is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But he's fully as smart as a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's no like, he's an ass, but there's no like,
No, he's just a
IQ
jerk.
drop.
He's a jerk.
yeah,
Mhm.
completely.
He's a karate jerk.
He could close that door.
He's just a
If a
jerk.
raptor can
Should've
open a
been
door,
called the jerk dog.
is the jerk.
Could have been a
That
better
might
movie.
actually be better. Steve Martin does the voice.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like the jerk and the jerk dog.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
that'd be better.
So they go to the police station. They get to the police station.
Yeah,
He's like, stay in the car. And I'm like, so your plan was for the karate dog to just stay in the car the whole time?
And the dog's like, oh, this make and model of car, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I know
he's
about
gonna steal
cars.
it. And he's like,
Which
you're
I
going
think
to
he said it in the
drive.
beginning of
Come
the movie,
on.
too.
He knows about cars.
He knows about cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he has nothing to do but like read
Learn what? Pat Morita taught him everything.
about cars.
He probably just bought him an encyclopedia.
Like a 90-year-old Asian man that owns a pottery shop is teaching his dog about
Cars.
current automotive
After he's already
knowledge.
taught it how to speak human. He's now just teaching it everything.
What did you say we were watching the movie? You're like, something about the Pat Morita having sex. Like, he obviously never had sex. He had time to teach a dog to speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
He had no time. There's no time for anything else. That must have taken most of his life. You know what I mean?
He died. He succeeded, though.
Dog's only so old.
He succeeded.
How many dogs before this dog did he try
He could
to
only
teach?
spend, like, this dog can only be about 5 years old.
We're still only 10 minutes into this movie.
Yes, we know. We're aware. We're going to speed through the middle. It's
We're just
that middle's nothing.
Unpacking
That's
this
true.
universe is a mouthful because it doesn't make any sense.
This is like the Lord of the Rings of karate dog movies.
They just created a fuzzy world that sucks.
It does.
So they go into the police station. He puts him in an interrogation room, and he's gonna like get the dog to talk in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, obviously, the dog's not gonna do that, and he doesn't.
And then
And
you
you're
think,
like,
okay, that's a rule now. The dog will never let anyone else hear him.
The dog.
Yeah, he's gonna keep his mouth shut just for fucking
And
this
the
guy.
dog's like,
Fowler.
I
Guess
can
what
only
doesn't
talk
happen?
to you because you're the only one who seeks the truth.
He does say that too.
Which is
Which,
Not
a whole nother
number one, I'm
bullshit.
like, okay, so that's not true. There's plenty of people in the world
Oh, and
seeking
that's
truth.
Yeah.
How does the dog know? Can he read minds? Did Pat Morita teach him to be
Well,
like
psychic.
Professor X or something?
then the
He can
fucking
like
dog.
read auras
Then
and like
the dog
gauge
guilt
chi
trips
levels.
this kid like into thinking he did something wrong by putting him in front of a
Oh,
bunch
that
of,
whole weird conversation, right?
yeah.
Where he's like, I'll give you one more chance. And it's like, give him one more chance.
For what?
You broke into his house
Let
and
me give
said,
you one more chance to go solve this murder for me.
right.
No.
This guy
Fuck
can't.
you, dog.
This
Go
guy
solve your own
invented a
goddamn murder.
sentient computer, man.
right?
He owes humanity nothing.
I don't He should just be
Humanity
rich
doesn't
outside
accept
of
him.
that. He
Yeah.
shouldn't even be a part of this equation. He should be rich,
Yeah.
like hanging out with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The technology alone to talk to a computer is invaluable.
They make another like, oh, you can't get a date joke because
To
he's
the
talking to the
dog,
dog.
yeah.
He said,
He's
yeah,
like,
look,
oh,
they're
like-
having like a couple
No,
problems.
no, that's when they're like, oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna kiss her. They're gonna kiss. They're gonna
It's a
kiss.
kids movie. Don't talk about that.
It's weird. Yeah, they get into the argument, and he's like, "Look,
The
give me
captain
another
warns him to
chance.
get the dog out of the
I
fucking.
do not understand what happens here.
I already forgot.
What was the leap from? All right, let's give this another go as a team, and them going to see John Voight
I
at the
have
dog.
no
I do not
idea.
know.
They just show up there, and I was like, "Why are they here?" What
Wait,
was the leap?
did the dog know that that guy was friends with his
I guess
think
he
they
had
did.
to know.
owner? Maybe.
But at this point, we meet John Voight because he's looking at the race through the slow motion
Oh
goggles.
my
Slow
God.
motion goggles. There's a dog race going on, and he's looking through
Which
binoculars.
I didn't notice, Matt. I wouldn't have noticed it because it's just. It seems like it was just
Yeah.
a shot, but it had the goggle
It had-
blurriness around it.
Yeah, it looked like you were looking through goggles, but it was in slow motion. And I was like, "What is he looking?"
Is that what
through?
he's seeing?
It's the future.
weird.
Computers are sending it, and goggles are slow.
Yeah,
motion.
Yeah.
you got slow motion goggles. It probably could do
Dogs
that
can
now.
talk. What year do you think this took place in?
I mean, I assume 2010. I
It
think
could've
it
been-
took place in like 1995.
God, maybe we missed a scene where somebody flips a newspaper and it says like Twin Towers looking
but
great.
then none of those
like,
references would have made sense.
dated like 2000 or something. And you're like, oh, jeez, okay.
Some guy. I love the Twin Towers.
Ah.
To best vacation spot. The Twin Towers.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, because then none
It's
of
like
the
Guy Fieri or something. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
and he's like thin.
The
No.
new flavor town is like Twin Towers. Jesus
We're
Christ.
down Twin Towers.
The flavor
Jesus.
towers. Sorry.
All right.
No, if it took place in any other time, the references wouldn't have made sense. All those
There was a
stupid
Britney
fucking
Spears
time
reference.
references.
Right? There was
Yeah.
yes, there was a Britney, which I felt was 2010 was
NYPD
still too
Blue.
late. There's an NYPD
NPD
Blue.
Blue reference is that's terrible. That's
in a
unconscionable
children's
in
That's
a
not even,
children's
kids don't know. They
a
didn't know what,
children's movie in 2010
The
being like
naked
"Arr."
chef.
the naked.
That boggled my mind. That was the first one I caught when I was like, why the fuck are you referencing the Naked Chef in 2010? He had changed his name to just his normal name by then. Like he wasn't the Naked Chef
when he
anymore.
was at the peak, kids wouldn't even care about him.
Yeah.
It's not like it wasn't good when it was relevant. It's like it's
These
terrible.
were jokes for adults.
NYPD
for
Blue
anybody.
was an egregiously
That's what
adult
I'm saying,
show.
like maybe they were trying to like put something in for the parents. I don't know.
I guess that's weird. They're just like, well, parents, yeah. I guess like parents stop looking at new shit when their kids happen.
And they start again when they have kids. So they do make movies like this for parents too. So
That's just weird.
But I don't feel like
We're
any
so
parent-
many
They weren't
people
funny enough
whose
to be,
children
like,
were
for
born
parents.
in 1980 or 1997.
to find a Britney Spears reference funny, I feel like you'd have to be at least 10 years older as a throwback joke, right? It doesn't matter. It does not fucking
I
matter.
don't
The
even
references
remember
are
what the
all
references-
bad.
This movie was written in
Yeah.
97.
It had
I
to
could
Had
be.
to
believe
be,
that.
yeah.
I could totally believe 97, 2001-ish, somewhere in there. Because
But it
there's a
also-
Matrix joke in it too.
Yeah,
There is
that's
a
right.
It's a
Matrix
spoiler, but
There's a Mission Impossible and a Matrix joke in this. This is nuts.
They were-
yeah, Mr. Impossible, the
Because
movie,
they were still
not
funny.
the show.
Yeah, not the show, the movie.
God, this was so written at the end of the 90s. It was, God, it was so.
Mhm.
Those jokes are so hackneyed by now, too.
It's amazing.
I
There were so many of them. You're like, who the hell let this happen? It's crazy.
Did they
They
have
find this on the bathroom
Did
floor
the person
somewhere.
that
and
write
just be
this like
"Make
get
it."
amnesia in 2003? Just like it forgot time was passing.
Time doesn't pass anymore. It's
Yes.
always the same day.
It's like I'm surprised it wasn't like a Sixth Sense joke, like Bruce Willis being a ghost or something.
There was the Silence of the Lambs joke.
Lambs
Wow,
joke. That
that's
was
so-
again for children.
inappropriate.
And
John
so
Voight
out of
doing a
date.
mangina. It's just no.
Man.
That would have been great, but it didn't happen.
I wish.
Okay, so we're introduced to John Voight looking through slow motion goggles at dogs racing.
He's like, they're looking
He's got
good.
He's got a ponytail. He's Steven Seagal.
He looks like Steven Seagal, but he sounds like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
Yes. He's dressed like Steven Seagal the whole movie,
He's got a
With a
ponytail
ponytail.
and a
Right.
gi,
But-
a shiny ass gi.
but Foghorn Leghorn.
But he's like, look at that old dog there.
It's really weird.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I want to fuck on these dogs.
If you didn't know,
Fuck all
John
these
Voight
dogs.
is also in Super Baby Geniuses too.
Oh,
Jesus
God damn it.
And he plays a Nazi, so
Well, that sounds amazing.
Why didn't you watch
Not a
that?
baby's taking down a Nazi. I
it's
love
super babies or whatever.
I don't care if they're super or not. That's great.
It's, you know what? Honestly, you guys do need to watch the Super Babies movies. Or Genius Babies, whatever the fuck they're called. Because the world in that is that I'm sorry I'm veering off, but because it goes with this. Because it's the same director, and in that world, all babies are geniuses when they're born. They have all the knowledge of the universe in their minds.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That's the conceit of those movies.
Jesus.
Right.
Okay.
And that the only thing, and that as you get older and you more mature, you lose it all and never gain it back. So the conceit of the movie is like,
Good Lord.
that's
That's terrifying.
That's dark.
it's really dark.
Especially
Yeah.
for a
That's
kid.
why they're like superheroes and shit, because they're like super
Especially
smart.
for a kid, because to the kids, it's
So
like,
weird.
it's all downhill from here.
Right.
Yeah, good
It's
Lord.
really dark, yeah. So they were trying to world build that just like they're doing with the Karate Dog.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I'm gonna
we're
throw up soon. I
It's,
think.
I feel sick as hell. It's
Has
terrible.
nothing to do with.
It's so we're introduced to his daughter, who looks
Who
like
looks
his wife.
Oh, yeah, I
She
thought that
does
was
not
his
look
wife.
well.
Her
for
character is
being his
nothing
daughter.
in this
That's
movie.
true.
It doesn't matter. And then his assistant, which is his son, which is the
Goodness.
fat guy from Varsity Blues,
Yeah.
or another teen movie in which he plays the character from Varsity Blues in that movie.
Oh, okay.
So
True.
it's totally true. What else happens in the scene? They're like his
He's
lackeys.
like, there's
They're
someone
like his
here
lackeys.
to see you, Dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's somebody who brought a dog that he wants you to see or something. And he's like, well,
They go down.
This is when we see the
bring the guy. I don't want to look at the
important
dog or
thing to
something.
throw back to is when we see the establishing shot of what it is, which is you were talking about how you couldn't sneak out of it. The racetrack is at the compound where all
That's
the science
also a
is
science
happening.
lab. Yeah.
It's so weird. Like
Yeah.
What? It just doesn't make any sense.
I think it's also his house.
He
lives at it.
This
it's
place,
a lab.
everything is happening here. It's
It's a racetrack that people come to bet at.
yeah.
Or does he just have a private practice one?
I don't know, but he's got
Because he has a stable of greyhounds.
He's got a stable of greyhounds, and he's got that like samurai room. I don't know what the hell you call it. It's got like shields and like samurai armor, and he's doing karate in it.
If it was 50 Shades of Grey, this would have all his porn like
it was
S&M shit.
There was the red room, and then there was the mirrored training room.
Yeah, this was the guy's red room, but with Asian stuff. Yeah. And so Simon gets there. It's not Simon. What was his name? Fowler. Fowler gets there. The dog, and he sends.
He's sitting with the dog in the kennel.
Well, he goes to the kennel, right? And
no, they're waiting to be seen at the kennel, and they're watching the dogs get put away. And then the guy shows up, and he's like, "You come with me," but the dog stays, and he's like, "Hey, chill out here." And then the dog starts flirting with the other dog, with Southern Beauty, or
who
whatever.
can talk,
who then just starts talking to him. And I was like,
also,
hold on.
This set is a horse stable. It is not a dog stable.
Yeah, because the dogs slip right under those damn doors.
Yeah, the doors are so high on these cages. It's
like a bathroom stall.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
So they're talking. Their mouths are moving.
Yes.
And that's when we were like
audibly hear each other speak while also talking English.
I just assumed
but there's another dog behind them that can only bark.
Right.
But a dog talking to another dog if they were speaking,
it'd be like me and you speaking Spanish to each other.
Dogs, I know, but it would look like two dogs barking. Their mouths wouldn't look the way.
No, I disagree. What was happening in that scene was two dogs. She somehow.
This is really important.
This is so important. She knew how to speak English just like he did.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's insane. Then it doesn't make any sense.
Wait. You think it's more insane? It's less insane because Pat Morita spent his whole life teaching a dog how to talk in a fight.
Yeah, but then this is when we learned that
dog's just 2 years old.
We just learned that he worked there. He worked there with those dogs.
He taught all these
dogs.
He was teaching every dog.
That's horseshit.
By this time, it's the end of his life. He had a plan in place. Guaranteed teach a dog English in 90 days or less.
The party throws everything into a blender, all right?
The party ruins
believe what you just said.
Everything we've argued
destroys that.
Yeah, the party
it's
ruins
like an atom bomb of nonsense. It just happens, and you're like, none of this makes any fucking sense at all. And ruins everything. All right.
Well, we're not at the party, though. We're going as we're living in the movie.
I just into this yet.
I just assumed when he said earlier that they would dogs talk dog, that they would talk dog to each other, which would look like two dogs talking, which would be barking. But obviously,
so you said
we need to be able to hear it.
So what you wanted was a shot of somebody
not
else
moving.
You wanted like the...
No, I just wanted to hear them telepathically talking to each other while looking like dogs.
But at no point in the movie does anyone telepathically speak.
I want like...
You want barking with
Matt,
subtitles.
that makes no sense, because then that would also assume that we could speak telepathically.
It's like, God damn it, it's like Homeward Bound. When they're talking to each other.
It's a different type of thing.
But I'm saying, hold on.
You have to hear things in this universe. Dogs can't just look at each other and say stuff.
All right. God, I can't believe we have to do this. But we have to. We're in the universe of this movie. I got two dogs. I'm hanging out with them. Me and these two dogs are just hanging out.
Yes.
They never once bark at each other while I'm in front of them.
No.
I leave the room. They haven't been able to speak to each other at all, right?
Well, they could speak dog to each other if they chose. They can both speak two languages.
They're bilingual.
They're bilingual dogs. The human, English human, and then dog.
But why would they ever speak human English to each other?
Because Chow Chow is honoring Pat Morita by always speaking.
He told him not to speak.
He's trying to get
if he's honoring him,
he's trying to get laid.
Fucking speaking at all.
Sunshine Down or whatever the hell her name was.
Danny Boy, I don't know.
Whatever.
They all have
Sunbeam Woman dog was hot as hell, and he was trying to have sex with her later.
Yes.
He was laying track.
I understand all this, but the lips
Maybe it's
moving...
impressive. Maybe that, like, you know how like people find it impressive when you can speak another language? Maybe that's it.
Jesus.
I hate you.
Why?
Because you're defending it so much.
You know him, right?
I don't think so.
I'm kind of with Matt on this.
I think it's just because that he's
All
trying
right.
to get laid.
All right, we have to move on.
This is a
Well,
children's
let me
film.
ask you something. From the filmmaker's perspective, if they just were barking at each other, then they'd have to be barking, and then you'd have to overlay their voices anyway.
Subtitles.
Yes, but then
These subtitles. That'd be, oh my God.
they could have done that. I'm just saying if
I wish
He-
the dog
he-
didn't even need to talk. It could just have
he
karate.
he made the like connection that speaking human is like speaking a different language.
Yeah.
So why it just doesn't make sense that two dogs wouldn't just speak dog to each other, which would not involve lips. Am I
But-
wrong?
Maybe it's like a Spanish teacher talking Spanish to the class. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to.
Let's move on from this.
It's so dumb.
Let's just
This
set
is the
this
kimchi
let's
of this
just set
podcast.
aside. God
This is,
damn it. Reference.
They don't
no
need that
one
lip.
will
It
understand.
just doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't even know where we are anymore.
the dogs are talking.
Sunbeam. What's her name?
Southern Beauty.
That's Southern Beauty tells him that the dogs have been starting
Getting
getting fed
different food.
different food.
Certain dogs have been getting different food.
Right.
And then it cuts to fucking then it's Fowler in the office.
We've got to go faster, by the way. I'm looking at the
next-
time.
Rest of the movie,
I'll
nothing
speedline
happens.
right through this.
Yeah.
He gets like suspended because when they're leaving the dog
See, you're-
track,
You're
they-
skipping scenes already.
they
No, no!
calm down, Matt.
No!
You're the one talking about dog language for an hour and a half.
That's so
Listen,
important.
It's not. So they say
The
something.
party.
They say something, and then the dog jumps in the car and starts a car chase.
Oh
The
God.
dog is driving the car.
For some reason,
Oh,
the
yeah.
dog, who is as smart as a human being and has total dexterity, is like a wacky driver. I don't think there's anything
Yeah,
that
he
would
can't
denote-
drive at all.
But I feel like he totally could.
well, he was just swerving all over the road. It made no
Well,
sense.
It didn't.
And then they crashed his car into a fucking lake.
It was like a nice car.
Yeah, it was a
Just-
69 something. It was really
Because the
nice.
brakes are out, and we don't know if the brakes were cut.
It's never
Or-
going back to the car malfunctions when a dog is behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It's,
That's what
it's
happened.
enchanted.
Like the dog
Yeah.
behind the wheel is enough for that car to go off a cliff.
Yeah.
Why the malfunction too?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. We got to go fast so I can't harp on everything.
So
this movie sucks on a crazy level. There's a lot to complain about.
So he gets suspended, and what's the next step?
Yeah, the boss is like, "What the fuck? Why are
They're-
you harassing that guy?"
He
Right?
Yeah.
No, wait. While he's waiting for
What
the
was-
bus after the car
what was
crash,
John
the girl
Boyd's name?
drives
the
by.
girl drives by with her cardboard cutout,
I don't remember.
partner. And the dog, when she's like looking away, asks her out as the guy, and she turns around, assumes it's him, and agrees to go on a date with him.
Yes.
Right. And at this point, we get the whole Serrano thing.
All right, they go on a date in a fancy restaurant, and Fowler has a fucking like FBI like secret agent earpiece in, and the dog is telling him how to speak to this
Which
woman.
not only it's insanely a
dog.
hackish concept. How many movies have you seen this happen in?
Yeah, I know. No, that's why
It's
I said
so
this
many movies.
The middle of this movie is just a bunch of tropes.
It's not-
and scenes from other
There's
movies.
not. It's not like there's karate happening.
Yeah,
He's on it. We're watching two human beings go on a date and a dog guiding it.
Yeah.
Yes.
a dog who was
Why is
raised
that
by
even
an
funny?
old. That's when I said the line about how he wouldn't know shit about dating because Pat Morita never fucked anything. Like,
Yeah.
why would
Right.
the dog know how to
anything
talk to a
about
woman?
human dating? And why isn't he constantly recommending anal sex? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's keep asking her about anal, doggy style. Like, dogs have sex instantly. They don't like.
they don't
court.
fuck around.
Yeah, they don't.
So,
yeah,
but
you
while
said that
he's-
too.
Yeah,
Well-
it's like they're not gonna. There's no like romance
Because
here.
in the middle of him trying to give him tips, the dog sees another dog and goes after it, and
Yeah.
then
Well, first he sees a cat, and because he's like telling her, "I got a secret," and she's like, "Well, what's one of your secrets?" I just don't understand how he couldn't say a word without the dog telling him what to say.
yeah.
So he repeats this whole thing about how he hates cats and they're disgusting. That speech was kind of funny.
That was
that was actually kind of funny because he's just like talking about shitting on cats randomly
to Jamie Presley.
And then, but then they get over that, and then the second time he sees the dog, and that's when he calls her a dog. He's, what's a dog like you doing in a place like this?
Yeah.
And she like storms off.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, you screwed it up. And it's like, you're talking to a talking karate dog.
Yeah.
That's trying to supposedly solve a murder,
I like the
but you're
idea-
going
You
on a
somehow
date.
managed to like get a job in the police force, but you can't talk to a human being.
Yeah.
They strapped a headset to a dog
Yeah.
outside of like a country club.
It's just at no
It doesn't
point
make any
in the
sense.
movie that he's known this dog has the dog shown any competence in talking to anybody.
or doing anything except
Especially
fighting, which he didn't
romantically.
see. He didn't even see the dog kick anybody's ass.
That's true.
He's just seen the dog talk and walk on its
You know,
legs and brush its teeth.
I would say easily this
It crashed
is.
the car.
I
It
would
doesn't
say
know how to talk to
that
women.
if not wild hogs, if old dogs didn't exist, this would be the most insane Serrano hack parody I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
Like, but that the only one that surpasses it is
Is
old
Old
dogs
Dogs, 'cause
still,
it's-
because nothing can surpass old
It's
dogs.
a-
But this
just
is
trying to have
right up
tea
there
with
because
the
it makes
daughters.
so little sense. The movie
Well-
stops dead in its tracks.
like
and
why wouldn't he have the computer in his head? The computer
Oh,
wouldn't have
yeah.
fucked that up. He has a sentient computer.
that can look through the internet?
That's
It's
slightly
online. It's
sarcastic
in
and
the
sassy.
name.
It can analyze her when it's in the room with
Right.
her.
Yeah,
Totally. It should be under the table analyzing
That's
her.
a whole
Yeah.
different movie.
It could analyze her like body movements and her heartbeat and shit, so he knows when it's.
Whole different movie.
it would look like that fucking that salsa commercial from the '80s where the guy had a huge machine in his jacket.
Just imagine for a second you met a dog like 2 days ago that speaks, and then you've going on a date with somebody you've always had a crush on, and you're like, I need you to help me
You're the only one who's
Speak.
gonna like, yeah,
during the date. Not it's like what?
a dog that I met
Shouldn't
yesterday.
the dog be like, I know karate. Like
I
why
hate
wasn't their date like a karate like tournament or like like they go to like a Taibo class
And he
for
can,
fun
like-
or something, and the dog shows him moves, or you know what I mean?
Who
Like
does that? Everyone
no
has-
one, but at least it would have made sense. At least his getting the dog's help.
Why
would've
weren't they
made-
going to Taibo on
or
a date?
something or
That'd be
dance
hilarious.
class, and the dog knows how to dance?
It's a weird first date.
That is weird.
It's very weird, but
But
so is
you're right,
having
the
a
movie
dog
should
that
have been
speaks.
But
silly.
then anyway, he chases her down. He ends up taking her to his house.
He's like, he actually tells her what he should have said in the first place.
Oh, she
which was
drops-
unbelievably.
And she
cheesy.
noticed that he was talking, he was getting
Oh, yeah,
his
she
words
saw
fed
it.
to
She
him, and
was
she's
like-
like, I like yours better.
Yeah.
So
And then she's
they
like,
go
all right, let's go
home.
on another date where they just walk in the
park, and then
and
during
wa-
that is the karate dog is romancing the
the dog
the,
he was talking
the
about
poodle,
that distracted him while they were doing the
right?
like, bullshit.
So they're both getting laid.
This dog just.
Which
they're
is
both
something-
saying the exact same thing, which is like super weird.
Yeah,
Because at that point, it makes even less sense that he asked him for advice and it didn't work out
Right.
if they both use the same approach.
right.
Anyway,
So she drives him home, and he like declines to like invite her in because.
but he does try to kiss her
He does try to kiss her, but
because
he.
he knows the dog's gonna be there.
Well, they hear all kinds of shit upstairs.
Well,
and
no,
at
I
first
think
we
at
thought it
first
was
he
the
doesn't
dog
want-
fucking
Well,
because that thing comes at the door.
God, it's such a weird. Okay, here we are. I mean, we're at the
yeah, this is the party. This is the thing. Fucking
everything we've argued about up until this point is ruined.
here we go.
So his
Here
front
we go.
his front door
Dude,
like
it's
collapses
maddening.
open.
This. Okay.
Strap in.
Hold on. So this is what it is. He's like. I think he didn't want her to come in because the dog was with him, and he didn't want her to have to deal with the
There was
dog.
audibly something going on.
Not yet though, because
Uh,
when he went to kiss her, that's when a keg of beer bursts through the front door,
yeah.
and you hear all this noise.
It's like
Like
yeah,
a
it's like
crazy
party
party
whistles,
going
like
on.
clown, like honkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And she's
I
like,
thought we had missed something. I thought something.
did I.
was like,
and he's like, oh, I got my cousins are in town or whatever, and she gets mad, and I don't understand why. And then he goes in the house, and there's a full-on dog party where
dogs playing poker,
dogs playing poker,
Of course.
dogs in the
Hot
chilling
tub?
in a hot tub, like drinking,
dogs doing a conga line,
Dogs
conga
were doing
line
conga
dogs
line on the balcony.
singing.
On the balcony
Dog
where anyone
playing-
can see them.
dog DJ, scratching records.
There was a scratch and he was doing that.
Who taught them that?
Dude, it's
If Pat
at this
Morita-
point, it's nothing
if
matters.
Pat Morita taught all those dogs at the kennel to talk, fine. Who the fuck taught them to talk? Who the fuck taught them how to do any of that?
Other Asian people, I don't know. No, dude, the party.
That party makes him not special anymore.
Yes, the karate dog is just
He's just another dog
that knows
He's
karate.
back to being. Who the fuck knows? They could all know karate.
I
don't know.
That's
They
what
could
I'm
all know
saying.
karate.
No, that's what I'm
no
saying.
one else had the opportunity to fuck anybody up.
We don't call like Billy Blanks the karate human.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's been an
Not
hour.
even
We gotta
close.
fucking. God damn.
This is why it's important because it's like
He's not a karate dog. He is just.
the whole crux of the movie is thrown away. Everything that's special about him is not because there's dogs doing all kinds of crazy shit. So who cares?
Nothing matters.
He's not special. Straight
it's
up.
Just it's like
I'd just like to
it.
reiterate again, this is a children's film.
Yeah,
I know, but
It is a children's movie, and they needed a party. Probably.
I never had this big of a problem with fucking spooky buddies. I watched a movie where the spaceship turned tiny dogs into superheroes and they saved Earth, and I still was like, okay. I still had no hang up like this, where I'm like, all of this makes no sense, and nothing about it is important. It's just a sequence of scenes.
Yeah, well,
With
yeah.
a dog,
All it
it's
is.
not. It's pointless. It's empty. It's
As
unbelievably
far
empty.
as dog movies go,
It's horrible.
it's really bad.
It's
really bad.
fucking bad.
I hate
man.
to say that I've seen enough dog movies to say there's so many.
but
I don't know
Not a
if
lot of
that
cat
Invisible
movies.
Dog movie was better or worse now.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen that, so
Watch it, Jesus.
Kevin Farley. All right.
this is no bingo. Let me
So
just
they
say
have
that.
the party. He throws all the
Yeah.
dogs out. A dog pees on his foot while going like, "You're a bummer, dude." And I was like, "This is." It was. Could he hear that? He didn't respond to it. That made me
Yeah.
mad.
Oh god.
You know what I mean? All right. They all leave. He's like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "I was getting intel, man. I found out that these 4 dogs." It's
It was
like
about the feed,
yeah,
right?
it's more about the feed. He found out more about who was getting the special food.
Right.
And who was giving it to him or whatever, or that Pat Morita had a problem with it.
Right.
So he's like, okay, well, we gotta like, that's when they break in.
Yes, so they
So this is the Mission Impossible scene.
so this is just as infuriating as the
It's-
previous scene.
It's unbelievable.
Because there's the whole
unbelievable.
It is though. It's 2010, and they do a Mission
Well,
Impossible 1 knockoff
that, but
with
there-
a fucking dog.
that, but there's a whole bunch of other shit in that
And we're-
scene that we're losing our minds over. One being the van.
Oh God, yes. What did it
They
say?
had a whole cover story, which was all dog related.
Right.
What
and
was
the
the-
van, no, the van, it was like
Muzzle bites.
Muzzle bites.
with a Y, like
which had all like
computers.
these beautiful decals and stuff. And then
They
they,
made
had
that van in
So
like
they-
an
Barker
hour.
computers on their shirts.
Yes.
So 2 different companies.
They had all this embroidered and decaled on their van within like hours.
It's brilliant.
They get in.
It's great.
He pushes the dog up into a vent. The dog's on like a rope. He's holding.
At
the
this
other end of the
point,
rope.
when this movie came out in 2010, I'm gonna say we're at least 3 Mission Impossibles in at this point, movies wise.
Oh wait,
You know what
we
I mean?
forgot to
And
talk
it's a
about-
Mission Impossible 1 parody.
Yeah, and they're parroting the first one.
I know we're
There's
almost
been
at Mission
3.
Impossible 4, and there's 5 now. Okay, good.
What I'm gonna say is we didn't talk about when he gets thrown out of the bio or cage labs or whatever the first time. He waved his phone in front of that door, and he basically downloaded every piece of information off their entire database.
He knows everything about this company.
Yeah,
possible.
from
Which
waving
is
a phone in
a
front
whole
of like a
nother
fucking
invention
thing.
he must have made.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just more stuff where he's like a super spy essentially, but everybody treats him like he's a dweeb just because he likes computers.
Yeah,
and he
because
doesn't
he's like a
sports.
fuck up. He's not a real cop.
Yeah. Anyway, but he used all that stuff to get in, and then once they're inside, he puts them in the fucking tube. Then they do the Mission Impossible 1. They even played the Mission Impossible theme
Yeah.
while the dog's crawling through the tunnel.
The floor of the room is a very obvious parody of the floor in that room
it's
in the
just
movie.
black instead of white.
Yeah,
It's insane.
it's like almost identical.
And then
They went to lengths to make that parody.
physics be damned. The dog
He's
like so
swinging
he
him through
lowers
the
the
vent.
dog down, and then he goes, "All right, start swinging me." And you're like, he is in another room holding the end of a rope.
That is
How
going
is he
through
supposed to
vents.
swing you?
Yeah.
And it just cuts to
He
the
says
dog
turn.
swinging.
At one point, he says turn.
Yeah, and he
me."
goes, "Turn
It's
me."
a rope.
He can't do anything for you but
Yeah.
keep you not on the floor. It's crazy. It's crazy. He downloads a bunch of information. They get out. John Voight walks in and goes, "I'm the guinea pig for human lot 99 experiments, and I feel better than ever." So he basically does the reveal. I said he's Norman Osborn from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He does that reveal, but instead of people being like, "You're sick, man. You need help," and that's crazy.
Like cheering.
They just go, "Woo!"
Yeah.
It's like super weird.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, look, I'm younger, I'm fitter, and I can break boards with my dick." And they're just like, "Hooray!"
Like,
and
he
then he's
did
like,
it.
"And I'm gonna put it in all the food in America." And they're like, "Yay!"
He says,
It's insane to think that they would cheer for that.
That's his plan,
he
is to
goes,
make
"No one-"
everybody healthy, though. Think
He
about
says
that.
no one will be sick again. No child will be orphaned again. Which we were
It does
like,
come up later, though.
we were
they
like,
do wrap that up
they do,
very
but-
nicely.
They do.
but we're like, oh, you can't just throw your child in a dumpster. Like,
You can
what-
still orphan a child. You can still abandon it.
Yeah.
what?
Just because you don't
Just
die
that
doesn't
line was
mean you
stupid to me.
like
Hold
it.
that thought. I need. Hey, we're back. I'm sorry I had to take a very long shit.
It was very
Honesty.
urgent.
It was. I had my gallbladder out years ago. These things take time. Anyway, we were at the part where John Voight admitted to his company that he is going to start putting L99, the super product,
Yeah.
into basically all the world's things like the Joker.
To make
or-
everybody super fast and live forever.
Which is kind of like nice almost.
Sort of. It
It's-
doesn't
it's-
make quite any
it's not
sense.
nefarious
It
as you
be
would
nice
think.
until you find
But he doesn't know that there's side effects, right? Like, he doesn't know that it
No.
kills you.
I guess
Not yet.
Right, but I'm saying, so his actual plan is actually, he's trying,
It's not evil. It's not evil at all.
he's going to hell with the best intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's trying to make the world a better place.
It's weird.
Right.
Except
It's
he
very
he
confusing.
did kill.
Yeah, but he killed Pat Morita to do that. It's really strange.
Yeah, so I guess he's not a good person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have all the information downloaded on the disc. This is when they go to the police station. He's like, "Look, Chief, I have the proof I need." Shows them the disc. He explains the plan. They see stuff in the file that confirms that it's true. But
the file
then,
exploded.
yeah, but then there's a weird like cartoon of the ninja version of John Voight talking to them, being like, "Oh, you stole my file. I see that." And then he's like, "Well, now this computer's gonna explode," and they all think they laugh at it. And
Yeah.
then every computer in the building explodes, and then the power goes out.
Every single one.
And the chief is like, "You're suspended," and he's like,
I was already suspended.
"You saw the proof. He saw that there is something." And it
Yeah,
destroyed
he
his
completely
fucking computer
ignors
system.
evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're suspended. You're off the case. Get the fuck out of my
Right.
blah 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 blah." Insane. So then
The chief was out to get him personally.
Oh, yeah.
To
It was
some
weird.
He
degree.
had
Yeah, I
a
don't know why.
dartboard of the guy's face.
With the guy's face on it. Yeah, he did.
after the dog in the interrogation room, yes.
Which I don't think would make you hate someone. I think it would just make you annoyed with them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Or concerned for their mental health.
definitely.
Anyway.
yeah. I'm confused about what happens next.
I think the world
They
was.
go back.
The Mission
No,
Impossible
they're
thing
still breaking
is-
in, and they get caught.
They have to break back in to get the actual goo
Oh, that's what
because
it was.
now they
and
don't.
that's the Nick Cage impersonation.
Yes, and now John Voight is fucking insane.
Yeah,
His
he
face
goes
comes
nuts.
So
Yeah.
all right. This is when Fowler like breaks in. He's in a kitchen looking area, but it isn't. It's a lab. He treats it. It's like a person hiding in a person's kitchen in a movie, but it's not a kitchen. It's like this weird lab.
Right.
And John Voight comes dancing in, singing a song. It's super weird. And then he's got a glass of something. He pulls a jar out and like puts some drops of the liquid in it and starts drinking it and acts even weirder. He goes like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 wow, yeah." He's like being super weird.
Yeah.
So he's just
His face off.
drinking this shit all the
He
time.
has legions, like.
Yeah, his face.
I don't
is
think you can
melting
see him in
off.
that.
In that scene? Okay.
Yeah, because it's dark in that room.
But they are. It's a weird, like. What's
he doesn't. He looks weird.
Have we gotten to the scene with the dog yet? The sick
No.
dog? Or is that after this?
That's while he's
That's
doing
while
that.
this is
Yeah, while Fowler's
simultaneously-
finding
Okay.
that shit, the karate dog goes to like
the
get
stable
some
again.
fucking ass, I guess. He goes to the stable. He finds this super old looking dog, and he's like talking to her, and then it turns out to be Southern Beauty.
Southern Beauty, right.
And she just hasn't been getting the goo, And now she's like dying, and then she dies in front of him, which is like brutal.
Which
it's
you
a
would
children's
think,
movie, and
She
a dog
looks
dies.
like a goddamn corpse.
I would
anyway.
say
It's really
you'd
gross,
think in
yeah.
a children's movie they would just write it as she's really sick, and at the end they find a cure, and she comes back.
Yeah, and she's fine. But no,
But no,
she
in a
dies
kids movie,
right
she
there.
straight up dies.
Let's just kill that fucking dog right
Killing
now.
a dog in a kids movie. There you go.
Good job.
Right.
So then he gets the goo. Oh, he's convinced what's her name to go with him. Jamie Presley goes with him to do this. He like gives her the goo, and he's like, "Hang out here for 1 second. I'm gonna go get the dog." He goes to get the dog. Dog explains what happened. He goes, "Oh fuck. Well, the girl's got the goo. Let's go get back up with her." She gets kidnapped by John Voight's like security guy.
Yeah, it's like a
They
bouncer
can't
or something.
find him. What happens to them?
cops show
Oh,
up.
that's when the cops show up because
Right.
John Voight called the police
Mhm.
and said that they broke in, which they did, and they don't have any more proof than they ever did because he doesn't have the goo anymore. And the animal control people show back up.
Out of nowhere.
Out of fucking yeah.
Literally nowhere. They just
Just-
pop in and steal the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Then he's like, you're done, dude. You're fired. Give me your badge.
Right.
All your shit. And he's like, all right, fine. He gives him his shit. Then he goes back with Jamie
Matt
Priestley.
speeding through Karate Dog.
Dude, I mean, we're at right?
Yeah.
I mean, am I missing anything
No,
you want
you're
to
good.
talk about?
Good.
Like,
Keep
the end of the
going.
movie's pretty boring.
The dog-
It's so boring until we get to the fight.
Until we get to the fight, it's
The
super
dog's
boring.
in the kennel with a bunch of other dogs. Dogs like in dog jail.
They're like
They write
singing
"Help me"
fucking-
on
the
the
dog
wall.
cage
That
has helped
doesn't
me
make
scratched
any
into
sense.
the wall.
Who gave him something to write with?
It's his claw.
On top of, all right.
his claw on the.
Because it's like what is it? Sheetrock.
Okay.
So he scratched it in the wall.
Okay. So hold on, but this guy, he's a wacky. Like they try to introduce them as like these oddball
Guys.
animal catchers.
Right.
This dog has written words on the wall of its cage, and he's still just like, "Yeah, doggy, I'm gonna gas you up."
Also, in this world, you think a man who works with animals as much as he would see this so often. Because these dogs are talking and
Yeah.
shit.
They.
That's what I'm saying. The lips thing doesn't make any sense, and it has to be like
You were also very upset in this scene because all the dogs talk like a 50s.
That was Matt.
Yeah, I didn't. Every time a dog was trying to flirt with another dog, they talked like it was a '50s film noir.
Because that's when men were beasts.
This is also where the
Yeah,
dog,
they were terrible.
the karate dog, talks to a cat,
Yeah.
which is like "fuck you" more so with the language thing.
Yeah.
And the cat insults him, but he like respects her for it, and then they're buddies after that. Because
Yeah,
earlier
I
he
guess
was
so.
just cat hating.
Well, he
the
was
whole
living
time.
in Pat Morita's house like for like 5 years. So he finally met a cat and he was like fine with it.
Yeah.
That was like that scene in American History X in the prison when they were like doing laundry.
So this scene is sick.
Okay.
It's just kind of sick and twisted. This villain in this movie is fucking weird. The dog catcher guy. Because Fowler shows up and goes, "That's my dog, and I would like to have my dog back." And he goes, "That ain't gonna happen."
Yeah.
It's like your job
like,
isn't
that
like
is your
to
job.
Kill dogs.
Like,
It's not you're not a dog murderer. You're a dog catcher.
Yeah, you catch wild dogs and bad dogs or unclaimed dogs. I'm
Yeah.
here to claim this dog so it doesn't get murdered. And he was like, nah, brah.
Is
ain't
that, is
gonna
that a
happen.
job? Does that really exist?
No, it's
Probably
just
not
like
anymore.
Barks or like
Okay.
Humane Society.
Society.
Like
Yeah,
they,
there's
it's
like
just,
more. Yeah,
They
people-
just take in like
Okay.
dogs and
In
care
my
for
life,
them,
I've
and
never
then they
seen a
put them-
dog catcher.
And then they put them
No,
up for
neither have I.
adoption. Mm.
It just seems like movies have always villainized dog catchers.
I've never seen one in real
I've
life.
never like the net and shit. Like that's never. I've never seen that.
I mean,
It's-
animal control will like come get like a rabid animal or something.
They have like the noose.
I feel like it's a
now.
reality just
Not
built
news,
off
but the snare.
Far Side cartoons. You know, like we're
Yeah.
this is like the caricature of the dog catcher. Anyway, he doesn't give him back the dog when he demands
He threatens
it.
him. He kidnaps
right.
him.
He kidnaps
And they fill up the dog catching van with every dog in the place, and they're singing a song.
Yeah, it's like the Lady and the Tramp
It's- ugh.
jail scene.
It's
the
gross and
rules are out the
dumb.
window. It doesn't.
Yeah,
The party scene
dogs are doing-
switches the whole movie to garbage. It's,
Yeah,
it was
everything-
already garbage, but
now dogs just do everything all the time, all of them. But he was
They're all
special.
tapping
It's
their
just
paws.
so stupid. Then they drive to.
They break him out. They break him out of dog jail somehow.
Well, yeah. Now they're in the van with all the dogs,
So
and they're driving to. Where are they headed?
I guess back to the lab. He's got every dog from the pound in the van
I think
with
he goes back to his house and uses collar to like find.
Oh yeah, he finds
the
out.
room where Jamie Presley's being held, and then they go back to the lab.
She was being held at all.
She has a very important role in this movie.
Not at all.
That whole element could be so excised. It's ridiculous.
It's just incredibly awkward.
It is.
And that shitty like earphone scene is terrible. Where are we at? I want to die.
Just get to
I
him.
just wanna
You
die.
got to get to him fighting John Voight. That's all that matters.
Oh, there's a press conference. They're racing to a press conference where John Voight's going to be like, L99, it's the hip new thing. Put it on all your shit. It's going to be in cereal. And he was like, it's going to just be in everything now.
But he was like crazy at this point. He had his like face melting off completely.
He looks like Tom Hanks at the end of Philadelphia. He looks bad.
Yeah.
Dude, he has huge lesions on his face.
Yeah,
and he's like, he can't even say words. He's like repeating the same thing over
he
and over
freezes
and over.
up in front of the crowd. And they're still like, yeah. And I'm like, this
the
guy's
son goes,
obviously
anyway.
sick. Don't eat this stuff.
Yeah, it's bad. He does a backflip onto the stage, which I thought was great.
But then he loses his mind, which is
And
weird because then when he's on the roof, he's fine again. Like,
Yeah, he's fine
mentally.
again. And his face is pretty much fine.
I mean, his face is. At one
It's
point,
still
I think I
red.
He
saw
shows
a
the
flake
shot
of
of him
skin coming off.
as a 90-year-old man.
Oh god, it was so badly shopped.
Right, but then he looks like himself now. Then to 2010. Where are we? Jesus!
All the dogs rush in the building.
They
and
rush
everybody's
right.
like, "Oh my god, it's chaos!" And then they shuffle him off the stage.
I remember one dog that was really tiny was like on the guy's back, jumping
up
on
and
him,
down.
and the guy's like, "Oh!"
Yeah, like it was
It's
beating him
dude,
up.
you could destroy this fucking dog in a second. You could
No.
literally throw him across the room against the wall.
Yeah.
No wiener dogs in this entire
No
film.
fucking
I'm
wiener
sorry,
dogs this whole
Christina. I
movie.
figured there would be.
Not even one.
There's that wiener
was
dog
waiting.
movie. Remember?
I forgot.
Would it have helped? Would it have helped you
No,
enjoy
it
the
would
film
not.
anymore?
What if the karate dog was a wiener? It would look funny.
That would
It
look
would be
funny as
funnier.
hell. His tiny little arms.
His arms and legs being that small.
We'll remake it at my house.
The CG. The CG of the wiener dog fighting.
Which one of your dogs is the stunt double and which one's the star?
Well, one's fat and one's extremely deformed, so I don't know.
Extremely
I
deformed.
would say extremely. Anyway,
Something else. She's a mutant, at least.
she's got an overbite. Let's say that.
Her spine, like, she's got, like, spikes on her back, and she's got, like, this caved in, this enormous chest.
Have you not been teaching her to speak so she can tell you what's wrong?
Yeah,
That's
She, you know what she does? She screams like a human being when, like, she, you know, in the middle of the night, so that my neighbors think that I'm killing a child. So, so she's halfway there. Anyway.
Teach her karate. Anyway, the dogs overtake the lab.
That's when they shuffle him off. He's incompetent 1 second. Then they're on the roof, and the dog
No, his son gets him up to the roof.
takes him up to the roof, and then the dog
John
kicks
Voight
open
is
the
fine.
door. And now he's fine.
It's fine.
John
and
Voight's
competent
fine.
to fight the dog.
The ultimate battle between good and
This-
evil.
Oh my god.
This
It's-
scene is
It's not even
almost worth
goddamn
it.
fighting. They're
They're
breakdancing.
just flipping around and breakdancing.
There's-
It's nuts.
It's a dance fight.
it can't be described almost. It's like there's one point where John Voight, Oscar winner, is fighting a CGI dog that's voiced by Chevy Chase. It's insane.
On a rooftop, and it's like gritty.
Yeah.
Like they
It's
wanted
the end
it
of
to
Blade
feel-
Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's weird as fuck, man.
there's a part where John Voight
There's
gets thrown in a dumpster and he starts Matrix throwing shit.
All right, hold on. That shit made no sense because I just want to stab whoever wrote that line.
That's terrible.
They're doing like all these like they're like trying to one up each other on their like back flipping basically and break
Well,
dancing.
John
and they're
Voight
like
does.
trading
He
back
notes
and
that
forth.
they both are trained by the same.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
both trained by Pat Morita.
Right. So this is the
Well,
ultimate showdown of students, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like trading back and forth, and then John Voight does all these backflips and lands in a dumpster, and he goes, "Clever." And you're like, that was your fault.
Clever
You
girl.
did it.
You
Clever
backflipped
girl.
into an open dumpster, you piece of shit. The dog didn't do anything.
Then
He starts throwing garbage at lightning speed.
Right.
And then we do the Matrix.
with a sink and a tricycle. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was
fucking-
a really weird
God,
object selection
so
there.
bad.
so tired,
Who
man.
carried a tricycle? Who carried a tricycle up to the roof of a building to put it in a dumpster?
Yeah, why is there a
What's the
dumpster
dumpster
doing
doing
on the roof of a building?
Weird.
Is there a helicopter emptying it? That is true.
It's insane. I didn't even think of that.
Damn it, Christina. I've seen that scene so many times too.
There's a dumpster on the roof.
He has ninja stars first, though.
Oh, he throws ninja stars.
Then a watermelon. Then a hubcap.
and then it like speeds up. But the funny thing I thought about the speeding up thing was that it starts to just kind of cut to him spin up throwing stuff, but there's points where it just shows him like throwing a piece of paper. Like he's rooting. He's rooting in fast
And when he
speed.
threw
It's
that
like,
watermelon, I was
Yeah.
like waiting for the dog to like catch it and eat it.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah,
goofy.
swallow
But it was
it
just
whole.
like dark the whole
Yeah.
time. I don't know.
It was very
The
strange.
dog itself was so not funny.
No.
Yeah.
The
He delivered everything in a monotone
voice
Chevy
and the dog's
Chase
lines
was
weren't
asleep
funny.
when he recorded this
Everybody
line.
was asleep, but
I know. At one time, I said about the other girl. I was like, I've seen her act.
Jamie
in other
Presley.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
her in other things acting.
be funny, and it's just like
And
everyone's
she
so
had
dead on their feet.
no personality in this.
Right,
or
Simon
any-
Rex is better in the Scary Movie movies.
Than he is in this.
than he is-
Definitely.
yeah, it's like saying a lot. So
I
He's
don't
just
know.
there's nothing behind his eyes in this movie. He's just like
None of them.
staring at
he
things
is
with
a
his mouth agape.
white male in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generic ass.
So
Everyone's
this
dog.
fight-
white,
so
blank white
The fight
page.
scene amps itself up because John Voight does a triple flip up. They keep flipping up higher,
Higher in the
on the
building.
building to the point where John Voight gets to the top where the sign is and he screams, "Look at me, Daddy!
king of the
I'm
world."
king of the
We
world." Which is
skip that. So he explains that the reason they're like, "Why did you try to do this anyway? Don't you know it kills people?" He's like, he explained that his dad died when he was young, and he wasn't gonna let that happen.
So he wanted to beat
ever
death.
again.
yeah.
And you're like, "What?" He's like, "I've been trying to impress my dead father my whole life." And you're like, "What is this?" And then he gets to the top and he goes, "Look at me, Dad! I'm on top of the world."
Which is a great. I don't want a Titanic reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90s again.
Yeah.
You know.
I
And-
thought that too. Arms widespread. Yeah.
Right. It was a Titanic reference.
It's weird. And he's also not.
And to see him and the dog flipping up the building, the dog turns into Spider-Man.
Yeah. He
Well,
just
that's the
climbs
thing.
wall.
He's on this crazy drug that makes you not old and super powerful. The
The
dog is
just
the
karate dog.
How is he flipping up a building?
It doesn't matter.
Dude,
It's
he doesn't flip up a
crazy.
building. At one point, he runs up a vertical
Yeah.
side of a building.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, so nothing. He's Spider-Man.
I'm so tired.
It's so tiring. It's so.
I'm asleep
So,
over here.
I'm
right
just so very tired.
I'm exhausted from
I'm
this.
so very tired, Steven.
Man. I don't know.
Christina
I
just
love
has a
it.
spider crawl on his face.
So they're fighting the cop lady, or Jason Priestley, his son. Someone else is on the roof too.
Sure.
Whatever. They're fighting. The dog gets the upper hand in the dumbest fucking way imaginable. They like jump at each other.
Dude, that's
Okay,
the best moment in
so-
the whole movie.
So that's interesting because that's making fun of Matrix 2.
yeah.
Because they jump at each other and do the like grab, but instead of spinning in the air, really, they
It's
just
just a
kind of
freeze.
yeah, they're
and
just
float
hovering
there.
in the air because he.
No, that's Matrix 1. Because that's the
with the
that's when
guns.
the guns,
You're right,
and it's
you're
that
right, you're
scene,
right.
but it's just them holding each other.
Yeah, they're not spinning. their
God,
fire
why
guns.
the
It's-
Matrix jokes in 2010 are just
Because while they're suspended
God,
in
man.
air, he's like, "Now for my finishing move,"
the licking,
and he like
Super
grossly,
licks.
grossly licks this peeling face.
and then John Voight lands after a slow-mos, and he acts like he's like an alien just spit in his
He's
face.
been
It's super
slimed.
thick, dude. It's
Yeah.
like slime. It's really thick. It's gross. Then the dog starts kicking the shit out of him, and then he kills himself by accident trying to get up from
Right.
falling over
Yeah.
a pole. He grabs like a live wire to a sign and dies.
He
Yeah.
has
Or
nothing to do with
he's,
the
like,
karate dog.
incapacitated. Actually, you know what? That shit is fucked up. He doesn't die because they still handcuff him.
Yeah.
He's just incapacitated. They killed that dog. Like, other people actually died in this children's movie, and then the villain still didn't
It still
die.
didn't die.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's a weird, yes, a lot of weird choices.
I hate it. In retrospect, I hate this, and it's my fault. I said it.
And it ends
It's
with
so
So
so the good bad guy's done, and
the son.
They
the
arrest
son
him. The
of-
son pulls out a gun because he's like, "You're hurting
Right.
my daddy."
goes to shoot what's his face
Fowler,
and the dog jumps in front of the shot.
Cha cha cho cho.
Cho jumps in front of the shot, takes the bullet like
And-
Turner and Hooch. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my God.
And then they
Every
do the,
dog movie
like,
ever.
They're giving him an
Dog
award
dies.
for catching.
They're
this
giving
guy.
Fowler an award at the police academy or whatever. Whatever it is. They're giving him an award for I don't know what they think happened. That's remember I said that? I was like, what does everyone else think went down on that roof?
Right.
Does anyone else know that the dog and a man
No one
fought?
knows. No one.
Over everyone in America's lives.
No one
Yeah,
has a single clue.
Because Fowler, in the end, didn't use technology to save the world or anything, really.
No.
It was
He
just
didn't
the
do
dog
anything.
fighting
The
a
dog
man.
kicked the shit out of a man until he touched a wire. But then your police report
That's the.
suck on it. Like, what? You're right. Who the fuck? How does anyone know
what happened?
How is that
They would have been
deserving
giving
of an award?
No, I'm saying if they knew what had went down, they would be had the dog up there.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been having it when you.
Well,
God.
Fowler didn't really do anything at the end. He just was a guy that was kind of involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He opened some doors and got some info. The dog
Oh,
beat
God.
everything.
If they would have just let him use his fucking computer, he'd have goddamn had it, the movie been over in a minute.
That's what I was expecting, like, for Collar to do something. And why establish that computer?
Oh, it was barely in the movie. It was confusing. It could have done a lot more.
It's so much more.
Like, it would have been funny if they're like, take out the love interest, add the computer, give him like an entourage of anthropomorphic things. You know, like his car eventually can talk to him, and it's a different personality. Oh, we forgot to mention it. The collar thing controlled his house.
That's
When he was
right.
in his house,
Dude,
he would be like,
I can
Collar,
make this even
turn on
weirder.
the lights.
Did you guys see the movie Her?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Where
basically
I
like
wanted
Jack,
to.
though.
Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with a computer program.
Yeah.
What if you added that into this movie with Collar and him? He's like had
And
this
this dog.
relationship with the computer he invented.
While
Oh
he's
my
trying
God.
to
And then the
save-
computer sacrificed itself to save the world at the end while the karate dog is beating up John Boyd. It'd been all it'd be this moment between the two of them where she has to where Collar has to burn out her mainframe in order to like save the world.
to keep the goo from entering the
Right.
water supply.
Yeah, it'd be insane. It'd be like this love story.
I'm
like
so tired.
Well,
it would
okay,
be
so
better. It
they're
would be
giving
better.
right, yeah. They're giving an award to Fowler for some reason.
For something.
They don't know.
There's just a banner that says "Our heroes, our city, our
Heroes
heroes."
of our city,
like
or
plural.
something.
That probably they were just giving out a bunch of awards
But,
to a bunch.
okay,
Some guy
another
solved
problem.
the squirrel mystery earlier in the month. They just give all these lunatics medals, so they're like, "All right,
Yeah.
good job."
Let me
Mel.
throw this at you
Go back
too.
to work normally, please.
What did Fowler think? He's talking at this celebration like the dog is definitively dead.
Like
Yes.
everyone knows what happened.
the
I
karate
wish
dog.
he could be here today, but this wouldn't have been possible.
He's gone.
And
Hold on,
he's
but what
gone.
Bob said is insane because he's explaining it like everybody knows what's going on, but clearly the dog has never been mentioned before.
Yeah.
Right, and
Because
the
like
dog
Bob
is
said,
still alive.
It's
Yeah.
still alive and
Somebody
just
would
not
have
present.
mentioned to Fowler if the dog had died from a bullet that he took while saving his life.
Yeah.
Why isn't Jamie Presley already at the celebration? She's the one who brings the karate dog bandaged up to the celebration. Did he not know that she was going to get it and that it was still... Oh my God.
Dude,
It's insane to think about.
That dog
So
shouldn't
they-
be walking like that. I'm tired.
the dog shouldn't be walking like that.
Oh.
I just like this dog shows up. No one knows he was implicated because
dog
if they
gets on
did,
stage.
it would be bonkers.
The
Shit would
dog
be
gets on
insane.
stage and he puts the
But
word
everybody
on the
claps
dog.
for it. Emotionally, though, it's really hard to feel anything because no one clapping has a fucking clue,
Clue
what's
what went
going
on at all.
And no one can acknowledge what's going on.
Because it's a
But
dog
then,
talking.
Just like the party part 2, they're
Oh,
like, you think it's
yes!
over, cuts to they're on stage, and Fowler goes, "You're going to keep your end of the bargain, aren't you?" And he goes, "You're really going to make me do that?" Cut to party time, back at Fowler's place. Everyone at his department who thought he was crazy for saying a dog talked to him and helped him solve a mystery gets treated to a goddamn concert of all animals. Drums, dog playing drums, dog playing guitar, dog playing
keyboard.
bass, dog singing,
A cat
sitting on a stool.
It was an animated gif.
It was like a
of
gif
a cat.
of the cat, man. It just kept making the same motions. And then, so, I just don't know what
At
to
this
think.
point, the world needs to know what this all is. Like, the world is being announced that, by the way, animals are sentient.
And then,
Yeah.
what
This
the
is
song?
huge.
What is the
How would-
song?
The song is terrible.
The song's terrible. There is a
cannot
Karate
talk
Dog
about it.
song.
No, what
They're in the
song was the
credits
dog
here.
singing?
Oh.
I don't know, some
Who?
bullshit song that,
Kokomo. Who knows?
no, something he made up. It's terrible.
Nuh-uh, it's a real song.
Was it? I don't care.
What song was that dog singing?
No one
asleep.
needs to know. Because these people react like it's a parlor trick.
Mm.
They just start.
Chantilly Lane.
They all just start clapping.
Raspberry Beret.
And he kisses the girl, and movie over.
Well, they had to make room for Soccer Dog too. When the world figures it all.
Soccer dog, karate dog.
Oh God!
Look, this movie is killing us.
I'm half
We're gonna have to-
alive. I just threw up my mouth. I'm barely hanging on here.
We need to talk about this movie for 48 more minutes.
Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Get this.
The thing
Wrap
is
it up.
like when we do kids
All right.
movies, it's even worse because you realize how much people don't give a shit about kids.
Yeah, but you watch competent kid movies,
And they're
you're
great.
like, yeah, all these fucking gaping plot holes and universes that contradict themselves constantly
I'm done.
it don't exist. You know,
It's insane.
Free Willy, great.
Is it? What?
Is it? Yeah.
Free Willy
Compared
doesn't-
to that,
Wow.
it's fucking masterpiece. It's Shawshank Redemption compared to that. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this screwed it up so bad that it's unthinkable. That's why I saw the clip and I was like, Karate Dog, we're watching that. That's insane. Look at that. We're going to watch a dog learn how to talk and learn karate.
It
but we
wasn't
don't.
any of that.
We watch him try to get a guy laid and all this other dumb shit.
Yeah,
Hang off a rope. It's fucking crazy.
that fucking dog.
Dude, don't call this Karate Dog. It's Spy Dog or like
Spy.
he does so many things.
You're right. He's multi-talented.
It's like Fletch, the dog. It could have been
Swiss
called
Army dog.
Fetch. And it was
Oh
like a
my
Fletch
God.
movie about an actual dog that solved crimes.
Oh my God.
Chevy Chase doing the voice.
Chevy Chase as Fetch.
He was as asleep
Fetch
as I
lives.
am.
It could have
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck you, whoever made
been. Fletch
this
even
movie.
has multiple personality type thing going on. You know what I mean? He could have been
Yeah.
great.
Dog shit. This movie is dog shit. I'm sorry. I did this.
Dog shit is the working title.
Jesus.
I did this.
It's great.
It's my fault.
Oh,
Sorry,
It's
Christina.
So
That's fine.
don't watch this. Watch the one scene of the dog fighting
sat-
and you'll get it.
look,
It's
I
not
sat
worth
through-
watching the whole thing.
I sat through Dude, Where's My Dog? In
We've
full.
talked about this for 90 minutes.
I can't believe that. Well,
Well.
goddamn, 60 of those minutes was the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Look,
Establishing
we had to
the
get over that
world.
lip hurdle.
Oh,
It was an
God.
emotional process for me, and I'm
All right.
sorry.
I'm so done.
Don't watch this. It's on YouTube, but just don't.
Watch the clip
Yeah.
of John Boyd fighting a dog that's Chevy Chase.
Any more than that, and you'll be physically
Because if you
ill.
just watch that, you're like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it's,
It's
the
so
most
good.
pile of shit. It's amazing. But then
It's like that scene in the God Monster Indian Flats. It's like I saw the movie. It's fine.
we got to do that at some point. Because I got to
Such a
revisit that
boring
movie. It's
Oh my
so
God.
boring. All right. Anyway, thank you, Christina. I'm sorry.
You're
But you once did say to me, you're like, if I'm on bonus disc, I want it to be the most ridiculous, insane thing that you guys could find. I think this is pretty.
No,
this
I'm
makes
not-
so little sense.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed. I
only
could have
thing
been bored, you know, like I could have spent. I mean, it was.
God,
I
you
was
look
pretty
so
bored.
tired.
I'm exhausted. I can't believe what time it is. I keep looking at the clock.
It's like it could be like 3 a.m. I don't even know.
Oh my god.
It's like 8 o'clock. I got here at 2:30.
Yes.
This is like an Alps of
Yeah, I know.
bonus disc.
This is great. Best episode yet.
Oh man,
It took 6 hours.
That's
To
what,
talk
when
about
you watch
Karate
Karate Dog, you're in for it.
Then stay away.
Buy the
Clear
ticket,
your
take the ride.
schedule.
I hope you're really sick. You have a lot of time on your hands to start watching. It's like Primer. You're gonna have to like devote a day to watching Karate.
Yeah, then
Dog.
you got to devote another day to figuring it out. Do a Primer Karate Dog double feature.
Lose your
I
mind.
can't deal with Primer made me just as sick as this, I think.
That's amazing, and that's where we're gonna end it because comparing this to Primer is maybe the best thing we've ever done.
It's too confusing. That's the only reason.
That's a great double feature Blu-ray right there.
All right. I'm
See,
sorry.
It'll be in your Walmart. It'll be at a gas station.
Station near
soon.
you, Primer and the Karate Dog. That's a bye.
Bye.
You have just listened to Bonus Disc. Questions, comments, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts and guests of Bonus Disc are 100% valid because they sit high atop Judgment Mountain. So quit your whining.